I mean, I grew up, both my parents are Christian.
Think about monkeys for the next 10 seconds. Can you not think about monkeys? You'll think only about monkeys. So, the very nature of the mind is such that…
Hey, you ready for the video?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Conscious practice. What's conscious? This is V and…
I'm Faith.
And today we'll be responding to Sadhguru's video on…
Can we control our mind?
My name is V, I'm an aspiring yogi, love all things meditation, yoga, and wisdom based. Super grateful to have Faith here on the show. Want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Faith. I'm from Austin, musician here in Austin.
Have you heard of Sadhguru before?
Yeah, I have.
Well, what do you know about him?
He's the coolest, man. Helped me through a lot of hard times, yeah.
Cool, well thanks for sharing that. And without further ado…
All right, let's get into the video.
Namaskaram Sadhguruji. I'm Divyanka Tripathi Dahiya, and it's a privilege that I can ask you something. My question is that why are all the forbidden things so enjoyable, and how to stay away from such temptations?
Namaskaram, Divyanka. Who forbid you from doing what? So this what is forbidden and what is allowed is not a part of this culture. This comes from another place. You know about the dumb couple? You heard of those dumb couple, Divyanka? Adam and Eve I'm talking about. So, when they did not know what to do with each other, they ate that apple. They had only one apple and they thought they were in heaven. So after eating that apple, they fell and the forbidden tree… What people have forgotten is, the forbidden fruit was the fruit of knowledge. So, God said, it seems, do not eat the fruit of knowledge, because knowledge is forbidden. Because life happens out of awareness, not knowledge. Right now, we have accumulated stuff in our life in such a way, something is good, something is bad, something is virtue, something is sin. Because of this kind of divisions, because of this kind of discrimination from one activity to another, now we have these problems. These things have been said by people who have no clue what human mind is made of. Right now, Divyanka, if I ask you not to think about monkeys for the next 10 seconds, can you not think about monkeys? You'll think only about monkeys. So, the very nature of the mind is such that in this mind, there is only addition and multiplication, there is no subtraction and division. That is, you cannot take one thought out of your mind. If you make efforts, it will only multiply. It is like a car with all three pedals or throttle, whatever you touch, it only goes faster. So, in this mind, somebody told you, this is a sin, do not think about it, that becomes your full-time job. So drop this what is forbidden and what is not forbidden. What is your natural inclination, that you do joyfully, there is really no harm in that. And when you take time to recognize what is your natural inclination, believe me, you will not do anything in excess. You will see that everything falls into place as it should be. Right now, small things have become big things in people's minds simply because they're trying to avoid it. This is the nature of the mind. What you don't want to think about, that's all you will think about.
Alrighty, Faith, so what's your first reaction after watching this video?
Man, I don't know, I think what he said about things being forbidden and because they're forbidden, us not wanting to… or wanting to do them, more, I think it's very true. I think there's always a lot of shame, like, put around things that are forbidden or things that you're not supposed to do. And so a lot of the time you don't do them because you are scared, even though you do enjoy them, So, yeah, I think it speaks to just what society kind of puts on. I mean, it's like the word forbidden, that word is placed on a lot of things that it's like, this doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. I agree with you there because we tend to, especially by society, get a lot of these sort of rules and laws and like what is good, what is bad, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And I think it's almost a lot of like fear mongering tactics, right? And so ultimately, I think it's important that we take a step back, as he says, focus on awareness and not, fall into these traps of what is a sin, what is forbidden. Now, do you want to share with the viewers like what your background is? Do you have like a religious background or maybe anything along those lines? Any history with that?
I mean, I grew up, both my parents are Christian. My biological dad is Catholic, but not practicing anymore. But I mean, I grew up in church, and so I connected very much with like the spiritual side of going to church and the emotional side of it, but never really, delved too much into. I wouldn't call myself a religious person by any means.
Would you consider yourself like more spiritual?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you do any practices yourself? Like, do you meditate, yoga, like anything along those lines?
I meditate. I used to do a lot of yoga. I was a gymnast my whole life and a dancer, so I was always physically really active. I love yoga, but I've been, since the pandemic, just not doing any kind of yoga, but I'm meditating a lot, for sure. Yeah.
Cool. And with that being said, what did you think about that example he gave, which was really cool, right? The experiment, which was, if I tell you don't think about 10 monkeys or whatever, you'll think about it. Is that something that applies to you as well? And would you say, it happens and works?
Yeah, I think I used to allow things to kind of occupy my mind that shouldn't be there.
How would you deal with it during those times? And how do you deal with it now?
I think I have a lot of different outlets, meditating, playing music, painting, and I think all of those are like vital to my survival, honestly. But
yeah, I think it's not just for you, even for me, and even for I think the rest of the world. I think they need it right now, right? Because people are honestly driven, I think, crazy by their thoughts, right? As one of the many things, emotions too, and it's things that we take for granted, but even I could relate with these things, and it can be challenging. And so now I think people need a tool, right, and an avenue of how do I deal with this. And I think some people do distract themselves, and it's not a sustainable way to go. But I think in a case like you, you said you meditate, and I think that's great as well. But you also play music. Want to tell the viewers more about how music helps you with those type of challenging times?
I think music is a different kind of outlet than meditation. I think a big part of meditation is to kind of clear your mind and try to just focus on your breathing, really, I think is the biggest thing, and kind of free up your mind for more important things. I think music for me, playing music is more of, I don't want to say a distraction because it doesn't feel like that, but it requires a different kind of attention than meditation. It requires a lot of attention, a lot of focus, and I don't know, it kind of just stops time for a bit, and you stop.
It's like timeless, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that the benefits are maybe similar? Or like, what are some benefits that you only see in meditation versus maybe only things that you see in music? Any thoughts there?
Yeah, like I said, it feels different. Each outlet does something different for me. Painting is different from playing music, is different from, meditating.
So do it all is what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing that perspective and experience here. Do you want to quickly also share with the viewers how you found Sadhguru? Because I know you've found him before, right? So, and you also mentioned that he's helped you during challenging times. Want to share with how that was?
Yeah, my buddy Derj, just out of the blue, I hadn't talked to him in months, maybe even like a couple of years. And he just sent me a Sadhguru video, and he was like, I think that you would
When was this?
like this. Maybe it was, maybe a year or two ago. I don't know.
Pandemic time?
Pandemic time, yeah. It's kind of all a blur. It all blends together, but yeah.
And how was it helpful with those videos that you saw?
Just, I think the biggest one, or the most impactful one that I watched was he was talking about mindfulness and how important it is to be mindful about, even your thoughts and then what you say and everything that you do, just be mindful. And I just I really resonated with that because I had always thought that I was really self-aware and really mindful, and he just kind of took it to another level. Yeah.
Well, that's great. I'm glad he helped you, and he also definitely helped me too, and that's kind of why I watched a lot of his videos. I'm sharing this wisdom with you all. I want to take this moment just to thank you, Faith, for being here. You did great. Share some cool perspectives, and would love to hear what you all think. Yeah, that's you right there watching. Let us know what your thoughts are about what I've shared, what Faith has shared, or even what Sadhguru has shared. Open platform here in the comments down below. Also, if you'd like to see any other guests on the show, or if you want to see me watch other reactions, let me know in the comments down below. And with that, make this a great day. Take it joyfully and stay conscious. You did great. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Perfect.